Hey everybody, Muse and Dillon here for an end of the year, well, by the time you see this, beginning of the year, special collaboration dealie.
Yeah, it's like a retrospective kind of by the time this is posted.
Yeah. We're talking about our top 5 albums of 2016, carefully selected.
I did spend way more time than I thought I would.
It was hard narrowing it down to 5. I have lots of honorable mentions in my head. We can maybe put our honorable mentions in the description or something.
I actually did a top 10 myself, so I have 5 other honorable mentions.
You motherfucker!
I mean, I only brought 5 though, and only have notes for 5. But.
Okay, well, when it comes to that, I'll just mention them because they're all over there, but I didn't grab them. Anyway. So let's start with yours. What are your,
Oh, we're starting with mine. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Bye, half the viewers. I mean, mine are pretty much just mostly, well, yeah, it's all black metal.
Yep.
It's different types of black metal, though. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure it sounded pretty similar to you.
Most of it did. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember which one specifically sounded like which, because it's hard to really match them up.
It's understandable when you're not familiar with the genre or extreme metal in general, because it's not like you're like, I'm more of a death metal guy. I
remember some of them were more accessible to me than others.
I remember you liking Baptism.
Okay.
You dug them. But my number 5 was this lovely band from Norway called Norgevel. And this is their first record. They have only been a band for like a year and already have an international release on a pretty renowned metal label.
Damn.
And with really good artwork and production. Not really reinventing the genre or anything. It's, more or less what you'd expect from a Norwegian black metal band. But if you're into black metal, you're already going to like that anyway. So there's that. That's really about all I have to say.
Let's do this. Let's switch off.
Okay.
So, my number 5, as of right now, I'm going to preface this by saying that we filmed this after Run the Jewels was released, but not before its physical release. And I really want to include ones I owned. So, if we filmed this video a month later, Run the Jewels would have been in this video, and my number 5 would be my number 6, but because we're filming this in January, my number 5 is Schoolboy Q's Blank Face LP. I remember hearing a couple Schoolboy Q songs on the radio from his last album and not at all being a fan. But when it came down to reviewing the album on the Going Off podcast, a lot of people were really excited for it and were really wanting us to talk about it. So what we got here with Blank Face LP is both a celebration of drug dealing and all that, hood shit, all this illegal dealing. Trapping!
What it's called now.
Yeah, but there's also plenty of songs on here that kind of address that, man, this is not a good
this shouldn't be glamorized.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, I'm doing this, but fuck, man, I'm ruining my life.
It's sort of similar to kind of what Wu-Tang used to do whenever they would take on their mafioso personas. They're rapping in character, but they're not supposed to be people that you should want to aspire to be.
Yeah.
They're bad people.
There's numerous tracks on here that really stood out to me. There's a freestyle on here that's really good. Surprisingly, there is a track on here that features Kanye, and Kanye's verse is pretty minimal and kind of simple.
I think you played me part of that one.
Yeah, it's not the best guest verse, but it's enjoyable. Whoa, I dropped it. It's enjoyable, especially for Kanye, especially after the release of Life of Pablo when I was just fucking over
Yeah, I haven't
Kanye.
even listened to that one. I liked Yeezus alright.
Yeezus was pretty good.
But yeah, here lately he's been going off the deep end. The song that you sent me was Black Thought Part 3.
Black Thought Part 3, yeah.
And I didn't so much care for the dude's lyrics or his delivery, but I really liked the beat and the production was good. The video was cool too.
Oh yeah, almost every song on the album has a music video, and they're all really, really good.
Is that just a common thing now? I don't think any of the shit I have has a music video at all.
It's funny because
even their entire 10+ year existence, a lot of these bands have been around for a long time and don't even have videos.
You wouldn't think it because in most cases people don't put a lot of effort into the artwork of CDs anyway. This kind of imagine. I think most of these do have booklets, but most of the time it's just a fucking slim digipack thing. You don't really got much in there. And for there not really being a TV channel devoted to exclusively playing music videos, you'd think that that's kind of like a lost art form. But
with the advent of YouTube and everything.
YouTube, it's still kicking. Because music videos get like tens in the millions of views, and I guess that helps somehow.
I sometimes wonder if, like, how much of that is legit. Like, if there's, like, some software that's, like, fluffing those numbers.
It's
to get
possible.
Fake views. I know YouTube, don't they have, like, algorithms to try and crack down on that? Like,
I think
view counts
so.
only come after, like, a certain number of minutes?
Yeah. What I think it might be is, it might just be the only way some people are hearing the songs is by watching the music videos. So, people who don't want to pay for a Spotify subscription, or like iTunes Music or Apple. Or
whatever.
That's
true. A lot of people just save shit to a playlist on YouTube and just have it on another tab.
Yeah, it probably just auto plays in a playlist and then fucking boosts it. Yeah, that's probably how that goes. But yeah, number 5, Blank Face LP by Schoolboy Q. You're number 4.
My number 4 is a band called Baptism from Finland. The album is called 5, The Devil's Fire. And the reason why it's called 5 is because this is the 5th incarnation of the band. The main songwriter, Lord Showermoth, he's pretty much the only constant member. And there's been 4 different lineups before this one. Wow. So this is the 5th incarnation of the band. You got members of the band Horna. Anyone who's a fan of Finnish black metal, they know Horna. But the record's really cool. It's got the smoke lion, as he pointed out. I have no idea what it is.
I love the smoke lion,
but it's really cool.
Yeah, I like the artwork.
Got a nice gatefold here that has this gigantic occult sigil, complete with the Reapers, and I believe that's Beelzebub over there. And lyrics. It's a nice layout. Only a single LP. Nothing really fancy about the record. Just black vinyl. And this is the one that you kind of liked. I remember you saying that you really liked the instrumentation of it.
Yeah.
Because Baptism and a lot of Finnish black metal tends to be on the more melodic side. And it's not quite as abrasive as, say, bands from, like, Peru or Chile, where those, like, primitive war metal dudes are coming out in hordes.
Oh, shit.
But, yeah, really, it's polished, but still raw enough to be a black metal record. If that makes sense. You can tell everything that's happening, but it still sounds like a black metal album. But yeah, number 4. 5. The Devil's Fire by Baptism.
My number 4 is the newest release by Jeff Rosenstock, Worried. Jeff Rosenstock, former lead singer of Bomb the Music Industry, was a favorite of mine for a while there, and
oh, I didn't know he was in that. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, he's the vocalist in the music industry. And so varied. This album is incredibly varied. I sent you the song
Wave Goodbye to Me.
Wave Goodbye to Me, because it had a music video, and I thought it was possibly the best representation.
I liked the Simpsons reference in the video.
Oh, yeah.
The No Jeffs Club.
No Jeffs. And he's playing another guy named Jeff, and it's like, we're only allowed one Jeff. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a fun video.
He has some really good videos. There was a video on his last album where the band just isn't feeling him, and they throw something and they knock him out, and they rip his stomach open, and he's full of tacos, and they all just eat the tacos.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they said like it was like a David Lynchian type music video.
It's almost like a George Romero type thing with the guts being ripped out, but there's tacos.
Yeah. Very varied. There's songs on here that remind you of Bomb the Music Industry, like ska punk, but then there's also more melodic, sing-along, like acoustic tunes, and then there's straight-up rock songs. Yeah,
it was sort of the one you sent me was a little folksy.
A little folksy. It's a really good mix.
It was a bit too jaunty.
Yeah,
for my taste.
I could see that,
but I didn't mind it. I wasn't like ugh. I was like, it's like I could dig this.
Yeah, I probably would say that there are songs on there that I did like better than the one I sent you, but I just thought for the sake of
it. Also had I really like the drum production on Wave Goodbye to Me. The snare drum is just a good solid wood snare with right amount of reverb. I'm a dick about that kind of shit though. And there was a good guitar solo. I remember the guitar solo in Wave Goodbye to Me was really good. Not like crazy "Look What I Can Do" shit. It was just it's just a good it worked for the song.
Yeah,
which is better.
So that's my number 4. An album with themes about worrying, anxiety.
Well, the name of the album is "Worry."
Worry in a nice little wiggly font. Themes of anxiety, getting older, and kind of being afraid of getting older. A lot of very relatable themes. This is a little inside, but just between us because you'll get it. You could definitely see where how Jeff Rosenstock can be a big influence on dollar signs.
That's what I kind of got the vibe of whenever I saw it. I was like, this is like some dollar sign shit.
Yeah.
It's like, are they just ripping off Jeff Rosenstock? Or
no, they definitely do have their own identity, but it is. I mean, being relatable to people's insecurities and anxiety, that isn't exactly something only one person can do.
I was about to say, because an honorable mention of mine that I didn't even put on my top 10 that I kind of forgot came out this year was the new Descendants record.
Oh! I didn't even know they had one this year.
Yeah, hypercaffeinum spazonate.
Oh.
That name pissed off a lot of bloggers. Because the spazonate part.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But there's like songs on there about like getting old. And they used to have like the fat EP and like all about eating junk food, but now they have like songs about how they can't eat junk food without consequences now because they're old.
Wow.
Just and like dealing with shit, but still also like Descendant songs about like love and loneliness and being a weirdo. So,
they even had Jeff Rosenstock featured on a song on their last album, Yikes. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of their songs, Reinventing Dollar Signs, which is a reworked cover of an older song of theirs that was called Reinventing Against Me.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to Reinventing Axl Rose. Jesus, how much further can we do?
It's like a fucking cake. All these layers.
I don't know, cakes. There's a song on there.
More inside more.
Yeah,
more layers for us.
Like an onion.
It's an onion cake.
Send us some onion cakes.
It's an onion cake in this is bad.
It's just a bean going inside again. Where there's a chant where they go, "We're giving up on punk" or whatever, and they recorded that and they had Jeff Rosenstock yell in that. Huh. So you can't really hear him all that much.
But he's in there. Yeah,
they give him a little credit. It's like featuring Jeff Rosenstock, even though he's barely in there. But he's in there.
It counts. Mm-hmm. Still counts.
It counts. So, number 4, Worry, Jeff Rosenstock. Put it on there for continuity's sake. They all end up on the floor.
Yeah, mine's propped up against the couch.
Neatly. A little bit more professional, sure.
Well,
but you also have more to take care of. Yeah, mine's in a sturdy protective case that nothing could possibly happen to it.
You never... Don't store your records flat. You stack your fucking records. You're going to get ring wear, and they're going to warp, because you're never going to get them to stack evenly. On their side in a dust cover. Don't be an asshole.
Little PSA.
My number 3, I believe we're at, is from the Australian blackened death metal band Denouncement Pyre.
That's a sick cover.
You cannot read that, can you? Oh. I mean, it says Denouncement Pyre. Now that you know what it says, you can make it out.
Yep.
But yes,
I wouldn't have guessed that. No.
That is an awesome cover.
Very Rorschach type.
True, and like the sun. The name of the album is Black Sun Unbound, by the way.
Oh, okay.
There's a poster that comes with the record I actually had up in my living room. It's like an expanded, like you can see all the shit that's happening underneath. Nice. I don't think it's in here. Nope, no printed inner sleeve. But, experimental blackened death metal that is catchy and listenable. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I don't think you remember, that was, the one I sent you was World Encircler.
Oh, okay.
That song gets stuck in my head, which is unusual for an album so heavy. But they expanded a lot on their old sound from Almighty Arcanum from 2012, and they just sort of, again, expanded it, but not to where it's just like, ugh, you guys are just jerking off for your own amusement. This is actually good and very re-listenable. And there's a lot of good shit coming out of Australia, as far as metal goes. A lot of good bands like Destructor and Not School and all this, but Denouncement Pyre, Black Sun Unbound on Hell's Headbangers Records. They're a good label. Support.
My number 3 is Hella Personal Film Festival by Open Mike Eagle and Paul White. Not to be confused with Paula White, the woman who was invited to do the prayer at Trump's inauguration, who is from the old Plant a Seed scam.
Oh, Seed Faith!
See Faith!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And even, like, evangelicals are like, what the fuck, dude?
No one's happy with the pick.
That's unusual.
It's like...
Who would have known that con man would pick other con men?
It's like, oh, so you got someone who has had failed business ventures, gone bankrupt, and had failed marriages. It's a match made in heaven. Or as Vince would refer to, a match made in hell!
Oh, I thought you were talking about... Oh, wait, no. Wasn't that a wedding in heaven?
It was a match made in heaven and a match made in hell. It was the same pay-per-view. You got Macho Man married to Miss Elizabeth, and then later it was Hogan and Ultimate Warrior against the... I forget what they called themselves. It was that weird team of, like, the Sheik, Slaughter... it was that weird Cold War.
The triad? No.
It's the Jersey Triad.
Yeah,
thinking of.
The Yakuza Brotherhood. No, I can't remember what they were called, but yeah.
It was like something of terror.
Yeah.
Or some bullshit. I don't know. It was
terror?
bad.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is very hellish, though. That lineup sounds terrifying.
Oh, yeah. And not to be confused with Big Show.
Yeah, that's what I've been calling it is open Mike and Big Show. Because I gotta be honest, I was not really a fan. This was the one that I was like really kind of like on.
Right.
Like, I mean, I watched the whole video and everything, and I just didn't care for his voice, but the bass line and the production were really good.
You know, speaking of wrestling, there's a song that's on here. I forget which song it was, but he goes, he refers to someone about, like, someone and their arrogance, and he goes, my perfume will blind you, Hogan, or something like that.
Oh, wow.
About arrogance. It's like, okay, I can dig this, dude.
It's kind of like whenever you're listening to, there's a verse that Inspected Deck has. This is the second time I brought up Wu-Tang.
Inspected Deck is notorious for referencing
wrestlers. He has like a line where he's like talking about body slamming somebody like the British Bulldog.
There's a spoiler for later, but one of my honorable mentions, or we could just sprinkle them through for the fuck of it, was his alter ego Czarface.
That's right, yeah.
Is that he had
I didn't even to check that out.
Oh god, yeah.
Dude, Inspected Deck and Jizz are like my two favorite Wu-Tang members.
Yeah, Fistful of Peril, his 2016 release as Czarface. There's a song called, oh wait, I might be getting confused with the last album though, actually. Yeah, the new one has a good bit of wrestling references in it too, but then like his last album had like a song called Junkyard Dog and another one called British Bulldogs, and very, very into the whole wrestling shit. Sampling, like, wrestling promos.
I still want to start a wrestling-themed hip-hop group called Foreign Objects.
I really like that name.
Yeah, I even want the Intestinal Fortitude EP.
Ah!
Or the Intestinal Fortitude mixtape.
I love that.
Mixtape because there's no way I'm shelling out money for beats. Fuck
that. God, no.
Why do that when there's instrumentals?
Absolutely not. So, very varied. Very along the same lines of Jeff Rosenstock.
Not what I was expecting the cover to look like.
No?
That looks more like something that would come out on like Matador Records.
What's that?
It's like an indie label actually based out of North Carolina.
Oh.
But yeah, I would not have expected the album to look like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Because if I saw that on the shelf and then bought it, I would be very surprised whenever I heard Admitting the Endorphin Addiction, which is a great song title.
Yeah.
I'm sure the song titles are pretty killer on there.
Oh yeah, I Went Outside Today, featuring Aesop Rock. Check to Check is really cool. The Curse of Hypervigilance.
A short about a guy that dies every night.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Dive Bar Support Group is really cool. It's
Yeah, and see, these all sound like weird punk band song titles.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I would not have expected that to come from that energy.
So, along the same lines of Jeff Rosenstock, a lot of very relatable songs, as well as songs about dealing with addiction that come up a lot. Dive Bar Support Group and Admitting the Endorphin Addiction are just two of the examples. Reason I even checked out Open Mike Eagle in the first place was because there was a video on Vox that was an interview with him talking about how much of a fan he was of They Might Be Giants. And I was like, a rapper is a fan of They Might Be Giants? I gotta check him out.
That's unusual.
And then you check it out, it's like, okay, I can see that. Because I don't think it's on this album, I think it was on his last album, but like, there's an interpolation of a chorus from a They Might Be Giants song on a hip-hop song. And I was like, alright, this dude's fucking cool.
Was it the Malcolm in the Middle thing?
You know what? It wasn't, surprisingly. But yeah, even the song "Smiling" on here, which is pretty cool, is about a song how he's at a show and no one wants to smile at him because he's black, and they're worried
Oh, wow.
about him. But then when they realize he's the guy on stage, then they all act cool with him.
Wow.
So it's like,
yeah, that's based off some real shit. Then.
Yeah, there's a lot of real shit on here.
Not an Operation Ivy cover, I take it.
No, but yeah, it's fun. Even the songs that are about serious issues, they're still fun and enjoyable. So yeah, that's my number 3. Open Mike Eagle and Paul White, who is the producer. I like that they're doing the top billing.
Yeah, that's becoming a pretty common thing now.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
I think that's kind of what, that's been a thing in hip hop for years. An MC and a producer doing a collaboration together, and it's just called blah 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 and blah blah blah. But when it's becoming more popular and stuff that's actually getting radio play and shit like that matters anymore. Honestly, radio play really doesn't matter anymore.
I was surprised actually, because I found this on Bandcamp and almost went the entire year not even knowing that there was a physical copy, because I don't think his Bandcamp offered it. I found it on Amazon, but here it is. It's a fucking physical copy. It's not a rip. It's it's a legit thing.
I don't know. It's everyone thinks that shit's antiquated. I know Kanye doesn't do any of his shit on on physical formats anymore. I think he's strictly digital.
I think so, yeah, on fucking Tidal.
And
It'll catch on, Jay-Z, don't worry. 2017 will be your year.
No, it won't. It will very not.
Your Tidal will take off, and Beyonce won't write an entire album about how you cheated on her.
Oh, that happened?
Yeah.
Is that what Lemonade's about?
Yep. Spoilers!
So wait, why are they still... Whatever, why would they even still be together? I know they got kids and power couple and all that, but...
Go for the kids.
But
Adam.
she's an
strong, independent woman.
I was going to say she's an independent woman.
Not a bugaboo.
No. Jumping?
Jumping, sure.
Bam.
We're jumping around a lot in this video.
Is that an Irish joke?
Oh, yeah, it's a House of Pain reference. What's your number 2?
We're going way the fuck off the rails here.